Okay, part two. Next thing you need to do on your family budget is to get some homeowners insurance. And like the car insurance site, this is another compare site, so you can put in your zip code, what kind of insurance you want. And I don't think you need earthquake insurance or flood insurance, but you want homeowners insurance. And you got to answer some questions, and it'll come up with 4 or 5 or so yearly quotes. If it gives you a yearly quote, remember to divide it by 12. I think that's what it does. Okay, next is utilities. And this website takes you to how much utilities cost on average per month. There's your electricity, natural gas that you need heat in your home, water, cable or internet. You can forego those if you want to be a cord cutter and do Netflix and Hulu and all that, but you got to look up how much those cost per month, and then your trash and your recycling. Okay, so that's all. That's pretty easy on that one. By the way, your house is already filled because you've been married for a few years and you have furniture, and you don't need to worry about buying furniture. We'll just assume that your house has everything it needs in it already. Okay, next is health insurance. We figured that out. This is the average cost for health insurance for a family of 4 in the United States, $475 a month. That's subtracted from your paycheck. So, but we already have that in the budget right here, $475 for health insurance. Okay, if you want life insurance, which I would recommend, because remember, life insurance is if you or your spouse passes away, they'll get money to cover your expenses or how much you've added to paying the expenses. But here's another site where you put all your information in and it'll give you a quote. Again, it probably gives you a yearly quote or maybe even a 6-month quote. Make sure you divide that so you figure out how much that's going to cost you per month. Okay, clothing and entertainment for the kids. How much do you want to spend on that per month? Okay, that's up to you. That's certainly limited. You might want to do that one last, because you might have $100 left over for the month. You might want to put that in kids items here. Okay. Now, if you want information on their activities, I've got 2 links here that takes you to how much it costs for extracurriculars. You can click on those and read that information. Okay, next is food. I know some of you probably want to shop at Aldi to save some money, but I want you to use the Kroger website. They have off-brands too, but you want to shop for, think about this is a hard one. Think about how much you would eat in a month, you and your kids. So just make a weekly, you can search for it. Obviously, you probably need milk. So here's your milk options. Chocolate milk, you always want that because Kroger chocolate milk is the best beverage in the world. It's even better than Diet Mountain Dew. So right now it's $2.99. So what you do when you make your grocery list is you put the item on here and then how much it costs. Okay, so just add those items to there. Just transfer those from the Kroger site and the cost and everything on this spreadsheet tab. Now, I always tell students it's really difficult to figure out how much you'd have in a month. So just make a weekly food budget and then multiply that by 4. Okay, so whatever comes out for a week, add all that up and then multiply it by 4. And then, because there's 4 weeks in a month, put that in the groceries right here. Okay, then whatever you have left at that point, you want to keep some for a savings account and some investments as well. Okay, now what I want you to do here is over in this cell D19, you can type in what you're going to save your money for. It can be, an emergency fund because things always pop up. The washing machine breaks at the most inopportune time. Your kids playing soccer and he or she, gets his arm or her arm broken. You got to pay for that. So that's emergency savings. You can also save for things like a vacation fund and so forth. So that's all short-term stuff. You also want to make some long-term investments for your future. Don't count on Social Security to solely cover you in your senior years. When you're 65 and older, you want Social Security certainly, but you also want to make other investments so you can do things like travel. Not have to worry about covering medical costs and so forth. So make some investments, and then in this cell right here in D20. I want you to put down what you're investing in. And if you look at on the instructions, there are, I want you to be specific. Are you buying stocks? There's more risk in stocks, or a Roth IRA, which is a combination of a lot of funds into one. That's more of a safe investment. It's up to you. But hopefully, if you need to, go back to the financial literacy lessons and review the videos on making investments. But there's also a link here that's going to take you to a website about different types of investments. Okay, so you can see there's a whole bunch here. Okay, one last thing. I know this is a lot of instructions on how to do this. You'll have plenty of time to do this. If you have any questions, don't forget that myself and Mr. V are in video chat every weekday morning from roughly 8:30 till about 12. If you're working on this in the afternoon, if you have questions, just send us emails and we'll get back to you quickly. Good luck, and hope you learned some stuff about life on this one.